Gunshots ring out in our nation's capital, reverberating into worldwide headlines of some kind of political hit.
It appears as if he was targeted.
27-year-old Seth Rich, a DNC staffer, shot in the back.
Shot multiple times.
Seth was shot at 4:19 in the morning, just 2 minutes after hanging up with his girlfriend, Kelsey.
We were on the phone, kind of just wrapping up our conversation. He had kind of told me that he was getting close to his house.
Seth's grieving girlfriend is speaking out for the very first time since his murder. They had dated for 2 years.
There really are no words that can accurately express how devastating and horrific it is to bury someone that you love.
Although there are pockets of darkness, for the most part, this neighborhood is pretty well lit. Investigators tell Crime Watch Daily in the early morning hours of July 10th, Seth was walking home. He was only about a block and a half away when he was gunned down right here and shot in the back. But still alive.
The officers who were there, and they said, yeah, he was quite talkative. He did not realize he had been shot.
But an hour and a half later at a nearby hospital, Seth is pronounced dead.
There's no reason why Seth should be in the ground right now.
Heartbreaking news to Kelsey. She was just on the phone with him, and in a split second, he's gone. Now Kelsey is breaking news in our exclusive interview, revealing details, telling Crime Watch Daily there was no sign of trouble in his voice that terrible morning.
You never thought that there was any trouble?
I wasn't alarmed, no.
What would you say attracted you to Seth?
He's kind of known as a goofball, but to me, it was very clear to me that there was so much more. It didn't matter who you were, where you came from, or where you were going. If he thought you were in trouble, he wanted to help. If you were sad, he was going to make you happy. He was going to make you laugh.
Still reeling from Seth's death, Kelsey is horrified to discover that the story of a conspiracy theory is swirling around Seth's death. It all began here on Dutch TV. The founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, made this shocking assertion.
As a 27-year-old, I works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered.
That was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
What are
that's
you
the
suggesting?
sort of...
What are you suggesting?
The editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks suggesting Seth Rich may have become a target after being accused of leaking DNC emails, which led to the resignation of its chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Seth's best friend, Michael Castany, is also breaking his silence in this exclusive interview, telling Crime Watch Daily he's disgusted by the reports.
All those lies that are being bandied about in the news are just that. And the reason that nobody close to him has refuted them is because there's no reason to. Because he spoke for himself. Because anybody who knows him knows how good of a person he was, knows how much he cared for the DNC and for where he worked and how much he believed in his cause.
But it's not just those close to Seth who adamantly deny those shocking claims. The police department in D.C. doesn't buy it either. The department releasing this official statement, which reads in part, quote, "At this time, there is no indication that Seth Rich's death is connected to his employment at the DNC." And just the suggestion of Seth's shooting being a political hit has his parents outraged.
There are rumors that are hurtful to you and to your family.
We won't talk about them.
And now Seth's mom and dad want to set the record straight about the character of their beloved son and disclose details of this case only to Crime Watch Daily.
He had just found out he was going to go to work for the Clinton campaign, doing data analysis and helping getting people out to vote.
Seth's parents say he got the offer, but tragically never had the chance to accept. They found the beginnings of his letter of acceptance in a draft email on his computer. Seth had only typed 2 lines, and they are sharing it with us.
All my life, I wanted to be in a position that I could make a difference. That resonates with me because that is the heart of what my son would have said. And working on Hillary's campaign, he would be making a difference.
But this is not the kind of impact anyone expected.
Just this past Sunday, a young man, Seth Rich, who worked for the Democratic National Committee to expand voting rights, was shot and killed in his neighborhood in Washington.
Police suspect Seth's murder is connected to a recent rash of robberies.
There were a few robberies that we have investigated that we're looking into to see if those parties involved in those robberies could be the parties involved in our murder.
But investigators go on record to confirm that Seth still had his wallet, watch, and phone when he was discovered shot in the street.
I heard there was a bunch of robberies lately by a man with a silver gun in the area.
Rumblings which concerned the general manager of Seth's favorite bar, the last place Seth was seen alive.
He was here just by himself that night, and even asked him if he wanted to stick around and get a ride home. He was like, no, I'm gonna go somewhere else and then I'm gonna go home. He was a great guy, you know, we're personable, you know, always there to kind of brighten up your day, even though that was our job, you know, as bartenders, it was just to make the customers happy. Seth would see if we're not happy and he'd be just like, try to cheer us up a little bit.
Seth seemed to be friends with everybody, but he would stand up to anybody for what's right.
Definitely this guy was trying to rob Seth. Seth wasn't having it.
And that's the kind of person he was. He would have fought back.
Yes.
While police can't confirm if there was a struggle before Seth's murder, everyone seems to agree on Seth's fighting spirit. Born and bred in Omaha, Nebraska, Seth slept with an American flag over his bed.
Seth would be so offended at anyone thinking anything less of him, of caring for other people, of caring for America.
He even had eyes on the ultimate DC prize, the White House, a place he took his girlfriend Kelsey on their first date.
I said, you know, half jokingly, I want to live there. And he just turned to me and said, no, you will live there. And that's just who he was.
And you can see in that picture of Seth and Kelsey a panda bear, one of his other big passions. To honor their friend, Seth's co-workers took the same stuffed animal he kept in his office to the Democratic National Convention, showing that while he may be gone, he will never be forgotten.
And right now it's time for the public to step up and help this family and police. There's a $145,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. If you know anything, call 202-727-9099 or text a tip to 50411.